In this project, we'll look at using the sheet metal tools to create a sheet metal bracket between this printer assembly body and the gear motor. We'll start off by creating a sheet metal part file, and then we'll insert that file into the assembly so that we can design it in context with the assembly. We'll start by selecting New from the Quick Access toolbar. On the Create New File dialog box, we'll select the sheet metal metric template. In our new sheet metal part file, let's select the sheet metal defaults from the ribbon, and we'll change the thickness of our part to 1.17 millimeters. From this dialog, we can also select the material for this part file. Let's select stainless steel, and then we'll select OK. We'll create the basic outline for the part by starting a new 2D sketch and placing it on the XY plane. On the right-click marking menu, we'll select Create Line. To start the line segment, we'll select the origin point of the part file and then enter in a value of 32.5 millimeters and then select the endpoint location for this line segment. We can continue drawing and enter a value of 18.5 millimeters and select its endpoint. We'll continue selecting a couple of more line segments and finish back at the origin. Now we can place a couple of place dimensions. We'll select this line segment for the height and enter a value of 32.5. We'll also select this line segment and enter in a value of 46.5 millimeters. This completes the outline for our profile, so we'll exit our sketch and then we can start the Face command. We use the Face command in sheet metal parts instead of the Extrude command. Notice that the defaults for the sheet metal part are already set, and we can select OK to create our face for our closed profile. Let's add a color override of Sky Blue Dark so that our part file is distinguished from the other parts in the overall assembly. We'll save our part file and give it a file name. Now let's insert this part into our overall assembly. Selecting our assembly, which is already open from the tabs across the bottom of the graphics window, we can then select Place Component from the marking menu. We'll find our saved part file and place our part file into the overall assembly. Next, we'll want to constrain this part, so we'll select Constraint, and then we'll select the face of the part and the face of the gear motor. We'll select Apply to place this mate constraint, and then we'll select this front face of the part and the front face of the printer body to create a flush constraint. We'll enter in a value of 0.5 millimeters and select Apply. Next, we'll select the bottom face of the part and the bottom face of the printer assembly body and enter in a value of -3.5 for a flush constraint. We've created the base of our sheet metal part and inserted it into the assembly so that we can then design the rest of this part file in context with the rest of the assembly. Make sure that you save your file before moving on to the next video in this project.